Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello to all of you wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Lindenwood University here in St. Charles, Missouri at Harlan Sea Hunters Stadium for a very exciting matchup today between Lindenwood and Life. I am Ashley Harrop, former Lindenwood alumni, joined here in the studio with Chris Schumann, also former Lindenwood alumni, two-time National Sevens champion. Chris, welcome.
Hey Ashley, great to be here. I tell you what, we are very, very fortunate today that the sun has peeked its head out. It's been a very chilly 2 weeks down here in St. Louis, St. Charles, Missouri. If you can see on the stream, there's still snow piled up all around the field, but the grounds team have done a great job of getting the field in playable condition. Not a piece of snow left on the field, and we are ready for a freaking exciting game here today.
Yeah, and it's been great to see. I've been speaking with some players on both teams, and it's been great to see players of all sports coming down, helping out clear the field to make sure that teams are able to play. And Chris, what a matchup we have today. It really is rivalry day for collegiate rugby around the country. Earlier on, we had Lindenwood men's team travel to Marietta, Georgia, and play Life University, beating them for the first time in 13 years, I believe. Similar matchup here today for Lindenwood women's rugby team against the Life team.
Yeah, I tell you what, this Lindenwood women's team, they've been a very dominant force in the women's collegiate D1 bracket for many years now. They'll be coming out here looking to defend their turf as they have in seasons past. Very dominant women's team here. They actually have two of today's starting 15 in the Lindenwood women's team are in the USA Women's High Performance Squad for the upcoming Women's Rugby World Cup. And that is number 12, Eti Haongatau, and number 1, Sam Tancredi. So we'll be sure to keep an eye on them during the game. Expect big things from both of them. But nonetheless, very exciting game. This is a very dominant Lindenwood's rugby team, as they have been in years past, and we look forward to seeing what they've got to put on display here today.
Yeah. Get underway. Kick off from number 10 for Lindenwood, Rochelle Stevens. Going to be a very exciting match. The first rugby for Lindenwood in over a year.
Yeah, I believe the last time this Lindenwood women's team played, they traveled to British Columbia and Canada for a women's sevens tournament where they competed against other women's national teams, and they actually did really well. So they'll be excited to be out here, come firing out the gates, and just excited to be playing footy again.
Yeah, and it looks like a very ferocious start from Lindenwood on the defense, able to turn over the ball. Now attacking up through number 8, Kapwana Bailey. Can we get the ball out? We can, through number 9, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, excellent. Well picked up there by Destiny Arena. Lindenwood on the front foot here, but Life defending well. It's a good break there from the inside. Finds a gap. There's Eti Hangatau.
Eti's gone all the way to the try line and maybe the third or fourth play of the game, and you can see already why she's in that USA Women's High Performance Squad. Very dominant with ball in hand. Gets rid of 2 or 3 defenders, making it look easy.
Yeah, just able to find half a gap on the outside foot, the quick hot step to the outside, and she goes all the way through, bringing a couple of people with her, and that's exactly what you want from your inside center.
That's exactly what you want. You want a hard ball runner who gets over the advantage line, and I tell you what, if she disposes of 2 or 3 defenders along the way, that's an added bonus.
Absolutely. Ferocious and very quick start from Lindenwood. Just a minute and 15 seconds on the clock, I think, when that ball went over. So Life getting it taken to them straight away. Chris, is this the kind of tempo that you expect for the rest of this match?
Yeah, you'd love to see this tempo continue throughout the game, but after having watched the Lindenwood women's team over the past couple of years, I tell you what, this is nothing new. They've been a very dominant team. They graduated some very talented seniors last year, Anna Karen Pedraza, Nika Byton, and I tell you what, they've had another very strong senior class this year with the current Lindenwood team graduating 17 seniors in the spring. So a very, very dominant side, very powerful side, great leadership, and yeah, hopefully they can keep up this intensity and take the game to life.
That's right. So the conversion successfully slotted through the uprights from number 4, Natalie Gray, the vice captain for Lindenwood today, and this is first opportunity for Life to go and take it to Lindenwood. They took the first kickoff, but now Life, and it's kind of difficult to see from up here just with the sun beaming the exact numbers on the player's back. It's number 3 Keating for Life. It's going to kick that one off. It's taken well by the fullback for Lindenwood.
Well gathered by Corinne De Freitas. She's met hard at the line, but she manages to work her way well outside the 22. Clean ball for Morgan Freeman, finds Rochelle, who slings it out to one of her big forwards, who is running a dominant line. Rochelle has ball in hand again, steps off the inside foot and manages to get over the advantage line as she beats the first man.
Yeah, it's very fast defensive work from Life University, getting up in the face and really shutting down Rochelle Stevens in the fly half position. She's not being given much time to work with the ball. So now the ball comes out quickly there for Lindenwood. Good carry, nice strong carry forward. But Pilfer.
Tell you what, that's great work by the Life number 13, Tumai Laitai. She's done a great job getting over the ball as the player's gone to ground there. She snatched right over it, and it's going to be tough to clean out a player of her size and stature. Yeah,
it's a stellar defensive effort from Life University, really not giving Lindenwood any opportunities to do much with the ball, but the ball's not found touch there. So now Lindenwood with ball back in hand through De Freitas.
Gathered well there by Sativa. She finds Corinne De Freitas on the looping run behind. Clean ball is set up. Lindenwood managed to get it out. Couple tackles broken, but the ref's going to bring it back for a penalty for offside. Rochelle with ball in hand. She takes a quick tap. She's got a couple players outside her. She gives it inside to Corinne. Lindenwood have done well. They've worked their way from their 22 right up to the halfway line here. And again, we're starting to see that physical strength and ability from the Lindenwood Lions come through. Ball out the back door, bounces backwards off McKenna Strong, but gathered up well by Lindenwood. Life come flooding into the ruck, but aren't able to counter ruck.
Yeah, and the speed of play here is really impressive from Lindenwood, just not wanting to slow the ball down at all. Penalty comes now, again offside, and that's something that Life are going to have to adjust quickly on that one. The referee is very quick to call this Life team in the offside position. They are up fast, Chris, and it really can just be a split second between right and wrong in referee's mind here.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a very well-known attribute of Life Rugby, of the Running Eagles, whether it be the men's or women's team. They're very aggressive off the line. They like to shoot up fast, get in your face, take away your ball-playing options, and maybe they're just a bit too eager. Another great steal by number 13, Tui Leafa. She's stolen in a couple great offloads, and now Life are on the front foot.
Unable to get the ball away, was low in the pink headgear for Life. And the referee just signals a knock-on there from Lindenwood at some point in the play, and it's very back and forth now. Life really starting to find their feet, especially with the fast turnovers. As you mentioned, Tumelatia able to get very well over the ball and rip that ball away for Life, and they're on the front foot.
Yeah, you can tell she's a really aggressive player, and she's making her mark on this game early. But once again, with the
Yeah, so just pointing out here up in the office that number 13 is playing on the blind side of the scrum. So Tuma Lataya is on the blind side of the scrum for Life, and that is very telling in the way that she's playing today, Chris. She's definitely playing like a back row forward.
Yeah, no, she definitely is playing like a loose forward, and I think they want to have a bit of her aggression and power there in the back row at scrum time. So they've moved her in and put a flanker out in the centres. But you can see when Life do have the ball in hand, they are looking very dangerous, and you don't want to give them too much ball in open play.
Yeah, no, definitely. So first look at a scrum here today from both teams. Both teams packing down nicely, both Lindenwood and Life, some dominant players. And just looking at the back lines, a lot of Life players. They're going to get the shorthand penalty here. They've got to tap and go before they do so. Number 8, Busby for Life, was eager to go quickly, has to take it to the mark and does so. She's going to have a go. She's on her own, going to find support now. It's a great run, though. She's able to go all the way, Chris.
Tell you, that is a great run by number 8, Matt Busby. She does a great job of getting rid of the first Lindenwood defender and manages to charge her way over the try line. That is not what Lindenwood would have wanted, but if anything, it might be a wake-up call and let them know that they've got to come and meet these Life women and let them know that this is their home field.
Yeah, exactly. Both teams not taking their feet off the pressure very quickly. As Lindenwood are taking tap-and-go penalties, Life do as well. They sniff half an opportunity, Chris, and that's all they want to go for.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's very strong defense on both teams, and there's not a lot of holes in open play. So these women, both of the women's teams here, are looking to start with the quick taps and try to catch the other team napping, and perhaps they've done just that there.
Yeah, so number 3 for Life, Keating with the kicking tee today. She's going to take on kicking responsibilities, looking to tie the lead, 7 points apiece. And Chris, just while we got a second, let's talk about the performance historically of both of these teams. I was just running through the USA national team for women's rugby, and both teams provide a lot of national team players. Credit to both teams.
I tell you what, these are both really quality teams, Ashley, and they have been the benchmark for women's collegiate rugby here in the US for, I'd say, the last 3 to 5 years. Both programs producing a number of eagles and very high standard that these women hold for themselves. We do also have to tip our hats to them because I tell you what, with the past year that everyone has encountered, these women have had their goals in mind. They know what they want to achieve, and they've made sacrifices to be able to be in this position today where they can run out on the field and put a game of rugby on display for us. A lot of sacrifices made socially in terms of schoolwork, and they've put in the hard yards, and now they've earned themselves the privilege of coming out here today and putting on this wonderful performance for us.
Yeah, and what an exciting event is. The kick just pushed wide by Keating for Life University, but they're going to take the ball now, take it back to Lindenwood as they look to go wide here. Big hit in the center there from Iti Hangatau, and also another player from Lindenwood. Double team there, not letting her through. That door closed very quickly, Chris.
Yeah, I tell you what, that looked like a concrete door, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was no getting through that massive tackle of Eti. Looks like we have a Lindenwood player down on the ground. Perhaps a little bit of leftover damage from that massive Eti tackle.
Yeah, Sam Tancredi was the one who took a second to get up. And Chris, I mean, she's just teamed up with Eti there, and they've absolutely annihilated the Life player. I mean, they're able to carry on the play. Life ball did spill out onto the wing where it went out into touch, but just that's the kind of work that you want defensively. And we already spoke about her, the inside center, and what a phenomenal performance she's going to have today and what an impact she's going to make for Lindenwood.
Yeah, I tell you what, she's made her impact really early on here with that opening try and then a massive tackle like that in open play.
Yeah, and so just a blood substitution there. Looks like she's gone off. There might have just been a slight clash of heads in the tackle. So she's just going to quickly get cleaned up, get a new jersey on, and she'll be straight back on the field. So now coming on the inside position is number 22, Puni Parau skips.
Puni Parau is going to be wanting to relish her opportunity here in the centres because she's obviously in the pecking order there behind Eti Haungatau, who Coach Billy Nicholas will be wanting to make the most of when it comes to game day. So big opportunity here for Puni Parau, and she is going to be relishing the opportunity. Line out here for Lindenwood. Destiny Arena with the throw-in. Good front football there by Lindenwood. Rochelle Stevens filling in at the halfback. She puts a box kick over the back. It's gathered well at the back by number 15, Price. Running to the outside. Doesn't manage to get through the Lindenwood line. Brought down well by Lindenwood number 11, Demi Allen. Lindenwood still charging forward here through the very powerful Tumalaitai. Ball's available for Life. Lindenwood not quite back and line set. Lindenwood rush out of line, creating a hole, and Life are really getting some good front foot ball here.
Yeah, Chris, the speed of play from Life University is absolutely phenomenal, and just the offloads as well. Playing like a Fijian Sevens team, I mean, it's just offload after offload. They're not wanting to take that ball down to ground, do there and get the penalty, not rolling away for Lindenwood. Ania Opau is going to be the penalized player there. So Life University with speed in their play today.
Yeah, Life are looking really deadly with ball in hand. And as you said, a lot of great skill on this Life women's team as they're able to send the offloads through their hands like that. Possibly 4 or 5 offloads before the tackle is finally brought down to ground. And that makes it very difficult for the defending team as everyone's retreating, trying to get back on sides, and the ball just doesn't go to ground, giving them a chance to reset. So penalty eventually comes, and maybe much to the relief of the Lindenwood women's team as well, give them an opportunity to reset, get back into their structure.
Yeah, Life choosing for the scrum here, which I like this option, Chris. They've gone for the scrum. Last time they got the short arm penalty, and they were able to capitalize on it and get the try from it. So they opt for the scrum here as well. Great decision, I think. Really methodical, thought-out play from Life.
Yeah, no, for sure. I tell you what, every backline player out there will tell you that they love a centre field scrum. Gives them a lot of real estate on both sides of the scrum to execute any set piece plays that they do have. But they're very strong scrum. Lindenwood Lions are initially having the front foot, but met by a very strong secondary shove by the Life women's team.
Yeah, so Life backline split here, 2 one way and 3 the other way. So always, as you mentioned, lots of excitement, lots of options for the backline here, and a stable front foot from the scrum is what they'll be hoping for in order to capitalize on this opportunity.
Little break and play here for looks to be a shoulder niggle for Life's number 1, Pamasa, and both teams just taking the opportunity to get a bit of water in and maybe have a word with each other. Yeah,
and it's smart play from the referee there. Obviously, player safety is of absolute importance in the game of rugby, a very physical sport. And so whenever there's, especially at scrum time, Chris, me, myself, never playing in the scrum, but you have done, so you know the amount of pressure in those scrums and just how important safety is there.
Yeah, no, safety is always our number 1 concern, especially here in college rugby. There's a lot of heads and necks in delicate places at scrum time, a lot of pressure on your shoulders as well, coming up from your lower back. So you do always want to make sure that technique is there and that player safety is being enforced.
Yeah, again, Life University able to get a full arm penalty, this time on the scrum, and they're going to go quickly. Referee pulling it back. He doesn't like where that one was taken from. But, Chris, they'll be talking about the smarts there from the Life team. They knew what happened last time at the scrum. They do it again here, and they're rewarded for their efforts with a full-arm penalty.
And you know what? They're going to use that full-arm penalty to bring the Lindenwood women's team in for another scrum. They can sense that they've got the dominance here at scrum time, and they're going to keep putting the pressure on in the hopes of possibly putting the idea of a yellow card in the ref's mind just for repeated scrum time infringements.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. Something I hadn't even thought about. But yeah, as you mentioned, time after time, penalty at scrum times do start to take their toll. And if you're going to get a yellow card anywhere on the pitch, you really don't want it to be, one of your key positions in the scrum.
Ball comes out cleanly at the back, carried by Busby from the Life women's team. She flings the offload. It's gone to ground. The Lions women's team shoot up hard and have managed to put some pressure on the Life women's team here. Strong counter ruck at ruck time. Lindenwood women's team look to have gotten over the ball, and it is there. The ball is available for the Lindenwood women's team, and it hands in the ruck by the Life women's team. Penalty to Lindenwood taken quickly. McKenna Strong with ball in hand. She finds Sativa, who beats the first tackle and the second. Looks for the offload, but maybe does the smart option there and takes the ball to ground.
Yeah, and great drive forward there by De Freitas as well, supporting our player. So Lindenwood still with ball in hand now. Number 3, Nina, carries this one forward. She's got support with her. Numbers out wide for Lindenwood if they can use the ball, and they do so. Michelle Stevens finds a good option there on her outside shoulder. Lindenwood still with ball in hand.
Lindenwood have the overlap here on the left. Morgan Freeman picks the ball up, decides to hold on to it, and she's brought down to ground fairly hard, but the Lindenwood women's team is there to clean over. Unfortunately, just a step off the pace, and Busby, the big number 8 from Life women's team, has managed to win the penalty.
Yeah, and another quick tap penalty. Both these teams really do like speed of play, ball in hand. They don't want to waste any time and slow the clock down, so they're opting to go quick. Is Life University. Number 8 there, Busby, ball in hand. She's going to carry it forward. Now Life opt to kick. It's a good kick. There's nobody home. The winger's up. If she can collect this one, she might be all the way through. Rochelle Stevens collects that one cleanly.
She does a great job getting back, manages to force the offload to Corinne. Corinne then manages to find another player, and now Linden would have done a really good job of actually cleaning this up at the back. Caught a little bit off guard with nobody at home to gather the kick, but a great job by Rochelle and Corinne there coming together to gather up and cleanly... penalty at scrum time, hands in by the Life, number 7 there. Lindenwood have a penalty here, and I think they're going to take a second, compose themselves, possibly look at kicking to touch, and much to the Lindenwood women's team's relief, we see big Eti Haungatau making her way back onto the field.
Yeah, big impact player for Lindenwood, and what a great job Skips did for Lindenwood in her time on the field. I mean, really filled that void. It was a big loss initially for Lindenwood, but boots were filled and she did phenomenally. We'll look forward to her coming back on the field at some point in the game. Lindenwood here with the penalty. Looks like they're going to opt to kick the ball out and have a go at a line out.
Unfortunately, looks as though touch is missed. Gathered well by number 15, Prize there. Lindenwood women's running, Life women running sideways here, trying to get around the outside, but a big tackle there by Sativa brings her opposite man down, well behind the advantage line.
Yeah, great offload by Life University. They've still got ball here they can get it out. Busby now taking the ball forward, and she's
That's
met
a big
again.
hit by Etty. She's back on the field, and right away we can feel her presence and impact. She's driven her opposite man back maybe 7 or 8 meters here, Ashley.
Yeah, huge effort from her. Really coming back on and making an impact. And good line speed there by Jessica Laughlin on the wing for Lindenwood as well. Life University.
Forcing the turnover. Jessica Laughlin with ball back in hand. She beats the first, wakes her way inside the 22. Ball's available for Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, great turnover from Lindenwood.
Lindenwood playing the advantage here. Strong carry by number 3, Nina. Ball's still available, but we're going to come back for the penalty.
Yeah, Life University offside again on the defensive line from the referee. He might well just speak to the captain there and just let him know, or her know, sorry, that there have been a few offside penalties now. Time to look at that and maybe just take half a step back.
We're inside the 22 here. You think this might be in range to have a shot at goal. We're going to see what the captain Natalie Gray suggests here. Natalie has the ball in hand. It looks as though she's calling for the tee on the sideline. And here we do see ball lady running on with the tee, and it looks as though Natalie Gray is going to have a shot at poles here. She's in the 22. She's slap bang in front. You'd like to think this is a fairly simple kick for her.
Yeah, and it's a smart decision as well. I mean, 3 points here puts it out of reach for Life University. If Life have a penalty, Life will need a try in order to tie the game or take it up to a lead with the converted try. So it's a smart decision here and just gives both teams the opportunity to just recompose, regather, and get things together. So Natalie Gray here, the vice captain, backs herself from the boot.
Sweetly struck,
So
and
she
that
should.
looks to have gone right through the middle. Great nudge there by Natalie Gray. And great play there by the Lindenwood women's rugby team. I tell you what, Ashley, they've had to absorb a lot of pressure there. They've been very disciplined at the breakdown, disciplined at the offside line, and they've been given their opportunity, and when they had their opportunity, they've managed to put points on the board. And as a rugby coach, head coach Billy Nicholas, I tell you what, he's going to be very stoked and very happy with the way they've handled that last 5 or 10 minutes of play.
He certainly is, especially with the turnover and the discipline from Lindenwood in, not getting frustrated and not making, silly mistakes that could be telling. So Life University now 5 points the difference. Lindenwood 10, Life 5. Almost 20 minutes gone on the clock, so almost halfway through the first half, and it's been a ferocious battle as we expected.
Kickoff gathered well there by Aliyah Rafar. She does well, gets up and gathers the ball. Good front foot ball here for Lindenwood, and they have been rewarded for their efforts with the penalty by the ref. Tackler then looking as though she was not rolling away, and referee has awarded Lindenwood with the penalty.
Yeah, and as we see now, the referee reaching to his pocket. It's going to be a yellow card for Life number 8, Busby. So she'll be on the sideline for the next 10 minutes. Could well be, Chris, as we mentioned, too many penalties, and the referee starts to get that niggle in his mind that he should reach for the pocket. And as we see one there from the kickoff, and that was enough for the referee today.
Looking from the booth up here, it appears as though number 8, Busby, is still on the field. We'll be looking to see if we can see who the player was that went off, and hopefully report that back to you guys.
I do apologize. To be updated as to who the player in the pink headgear was that went off for the Life Running Eagles. And so Lindenwood with the throw in here at the line out.
Destiny Arena with the ball in hand.
And goes up in the middle. Taken nicely by Natalie Gray. And now they're going to look to drive Lindenwood. And it's a strong drive. They've got speed behind it as well.
Very
Finally
dominant
brought to a
maul there.
stop.
Unfortunately, the ball just not going to hand. In the transition, they're trying to get the ball back to the back of the maul. Looks like it slipped someone's hands, and Linden would have unfortunately knocked it on, because I tell you what, that was a very dominant maul they had moving forward there. Unfortunate knock on. Scrum down to Life just inside the Lindenwood Lions half.
Yeah, very dominant. And Chris, you can speak more on the rolling maul than I can, but there are a lot more technical aspects to that rolling maul than people expect. The ball doesn't simply come down from the line out and stay in that player's hands and get driven forward.
Yeah, no, it's a very well officiated area of the game now. In the past, there's been a lot of discussion about the truck and trailer aspect and the offside aspect. But as soon as you have two players or a player from the opposition team make an attempt at the ball carrier who comes down from the line out, any contact there, is deemed the start of a rolling maul, and from then on the Lindenwood women's pile in as they did and get the football and continue to charge it down the field.
Yeah, as we hear Harlan C. Hunter Stadium now start to erupt with the Lions chant from the crowd. Lots of fans in attendance, socially distanced here, Chris. But nice to see the Lindenwood men's rugby team I can see out there join together to come and support the ladies rugby team today.
Yeah, it's been a very busy morning, as we mentioned earlier today, for Lindenwood Rugby, with the Lindenwood men's team getting their first win over Life in the program's history. And they managed to do that on Life's home field down in Marietta, Georgia this morning. So those Lindenwood Rugby boys who didn't travel out here in the stands, making their voices heard and supporting on their female compatriots.
Yeah, scrum time now for Life University. The ball does seem to stay in the middle. That one's going to probably be reset there. Yeah, the referee is calling for the reset here. Chris, a lot of work has to be done from the front row in order for that ball to get brought back to the back of the scrum. Is that right?
Yeah, and the thing is, scrums are a tricky one because it's not something you can really train too well in training. You can do a lot of work on contact situations, on ball handling and skills, but when it comes to scrumming, you really do need to scrum to be able to practice scrumming. And with most teams, there tends to be a decent step off from the varsity front row to that junior varsity front row. So I think both the front rows here, their first real contest at scrum time, and they're both adjusting, finding their feet, making it comfortable. Ball comes to the back for Busby. She tries to get rid of Morgan Freeman, but Morgan Freeman says not today and brings her down to ground. Scrappy ball for Life, but player off their feet at breakdown, and they have a penalty. And would you be surprised to know that they've taken it quickly yet again? And here come the offloads that we've been seeing all afternoon.
Yeah, testament to Life University wanting to keep that ball moving and keep the speed of play up. Lindenwood penalized here for being offside, so Life are going to take the full-arm penalty. And if I had to guess, Chris, I'd probably say would opt for a scrum.
Yeah, that's been their go-to move so far. Perhaps a little bit of fatigue sitting in here towards the end of the first half, as it looks as though number 3, Keating, is going to try and put this ball into touch, and she does just that. Great touch kick by Keating. Finds touch just outside the Lindenwood 22. She's going to go and gather the ball for herself and looks to be the one throwing this line out in.
Yeah, and it's been a first 25 minutes dominated by the forwards on both sides. Lots of scrums, lots of line-outs. Chris, in games like this, you have to think that somewhere in the world, USA coaches are going to be looking at players to potentially bring into the development programs.
I mean, for sure. I know there's a great open women's competition that they run out on the East Coast. But, I mean, other than that, a lot of this is going to be ultimately your main breeding ground for future US Women's Eagles. So I'm sure there are a lot of eyes on this game. A lot of players know what they've got to do out here today, and everyone's out there looking to impress for no fact other than the fact that it's a big derby game for both sides, and they know that.
Yeah, so hello to any USA coaches out there. Head coach Neil Harris was my former high school PE teacher. So, Mr. Harris, if you're listening, hello, good afternoon. What a spectacle we have for you today. Big hit again, well up from Etty, number 12 for Lindenwood. Life University here looking to move that ball forward closer and closer to the Lindenwood line.
I tell you what, Ashley, I would not want to run a short ball down Etty's channel. She has been an absolute monster this afternoon. Every time someone comes near, she's sure to drive them back a couple meters. But Life have the ball available here at the bottom of the ruck, 3 meters away from the try line. They're opting for the continuous pick and goes. Ball eventually comes out the back for the number 9. She finds her fly half, who is brought down short again of the line. Lindenwood look to be setting their structure very well here. Unfortunately, penalized for an infringement on the line. Another quick tap and go, and Life are over the line. Great play by Life there.
Wow, what a ferocious amount of play there from Life University. I mean, relentless they were at the Lindenwood line, and Lindenwood, just a lack of discipline there. Players just checking with the referee exactly what happened. But Chris, that is the time when you have to be as disciplined as you've ever been in your entire life.
Yeah. I tell you what, I think this Life women's team have done their homework. They know that the structure of this Lindenwood women's team. They've worked on it for multiple seasons. It's a big part of their game. They're very structured. They're very organized. They know what their jobs are. And Life know that, and they're taking every opportunity they can to play the ball quickly and perhaps catch a couple players out of position or not where they should be. And yeah, they're just keeping the ball alive for as long as they can.
Yeah, so the first of 2 matchups we have between Lindenwood and Life today has been the home series for Lindenwood. In 2 weeks' time, Lindenwood will travel to Marietta, Georgia, and face Life on their home field, Chris. And we were speaking with head coach for the Lions, Billy Nicholas, before the game, and he was saying he has a lot of respect in this Life team, and he really does expect them to come fighting today, and they have done so far.
They have done just that. I tell you what, Ashley, this has been a tightly contested match since the kickoff. Lindenwood strike early, Life strike right back. It's been tick for tack, toe for toe out here, and it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game pans out. Life successful with the conversion, go ahead 12-10 with 13 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, so Lindenwood gonna take the ball straight back to Life here through the kick of Rochelle Stevens, and some great defensive work from Rochelle Stevens on the try line there, but ultimately it was one phase too many, and Life were able to get over and secure the try.
Rochelle Stevens with ball in hand here. She's looking to take the kickoff. Lindenwood all set. Great nudge by Rochelle. She's pinned them deep in their own 22. Straight to Busby, though, the number 8 for Life. Perhaps someone you don't want to let the ball get into their hands.
Yeah, typically a dominant runner, the number 8 for any rugby team, as Life University look to take the ball out, but it's ripped well.
That is a great steal by Sam Tancredi. First player at the breakdown. She gets right over the ball and makes it look as easy as can be. Number 2, Destiny Arena with ball in hand, moving slightly sideways. Life women's team look to be holding her up here, and it appears that they have done just that. Ref's going to have a blow on the whistle for what we thought would be a maul, but it looks as though there was a high tackle. Penalty to Lindenwood. Quick tap by Corinne De Freitas, but ref's going to bring it back for playing the ball off the mark.
Yeah, referee just wants to speak with Life University there about that, and we thought it was about to be stellar defensive work from the Running Eagles in stopping that maul from going anywhere and keeping the player up off the ground. But Lindenwood are able to breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, very much a sigh of relief. They're very tricky when it comes to holding a player up and rolling mauls like that. Players tend to pile in from everywhere, and there it looks as though our arm just slipped up above the shoulder and got over the Lindenwood players, around the Lindenwood player's neck. So rightly so, the ref blows a penalty just inside Life's 22, and Lindenwood have opted for an attacking scrum here in the opposition 22. They have a split back line. It looks as though we have 4 players here on the right open side and 2 players down the blind side. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of movement here from the back line players.
Yeah.
Ball's available. Morgan Freeman has it. Advantage. Arm goes up for advantage there for offsides. Great offload by Rochelle Stevens. Finds Corinne. Corinne manages to ride the first tackle deep into the opposition half, and she's still going. She's up to the 5-meter line. Still going. Ball is eventually available for Lindenwood women's team. Morgan Freeman finds McKenna Strong, who runs a very, very tough line. Brought down inches short of the line. Pick and go here for Lindenwood women's team, and they're over the line. Lindenwood Lions go back in front after a very, very strong pick and go there at the breakdown. But it looks as though number 9, Morgan Freeman herself.
Yeah, and that all started at the scrum, Chris. I mean, fantastic platform set by the Lindenwood forwards in the scrum. And it was a nice move out the back. Morgan Freeman almost brought down by the Life player, but able to keep her feet. And it was Rochelle Stevens and Corinne De Freitas who were stacked up one behind the other as the scrum was forming. They were able to work seamlessly together. De Freitas, very tough lady to bring down to the ground.
Yeah, I tell you what, she rode those tackles for about 15 meters. Their initial contact was on the 22, and she got brought down a meter or 2 short of the try line. So great work by her in the contact area, driving the legs, pumping, keep continuing to move forward. And she's played a vital role in her team getting over the line.
Yeah, and this shows just how ruthless both of these teams are. There's absolutely no let-up. Life University with a very short lead. Lindenwood straight back in the action. They're not downhearted at all, and they're able to get the ball over. The kick now from Natalie Gray. Looks good from up here, Chris.
And she's got a
Great
hold.
strike.
Just got enough on that one. Manages to sneak it over the crossbar. But that's a very, very, very Well-deserved 7 points for the Lindenwood Lions. Puts them now 17-10 ahead against the Running Eagles, and we have just under 10 minutes to go on the clock.
Yeah, so lots more excitement to come here in today's game. It really has been a matchup that we expected it to be, and it will continue to be for the rest of this match. Keating going to be the one kicking off for Life, as she has done so far today. Chris, what do you expect to see for the remaining 10 minutes in this half?
I tell you what, neither team's going to let up here, Ashley. Both teams are going to be putting their foot down on the gas and trying to get as many points as they can in before the halftime whistle here. Lindenwood will be looking to stay ahead, but Life will be looking to change that here in the closing minutes. Yeah,
it's a good deep kick from Keating. She's found, I know it's a big attempt there from the Life player at a tackle on Morgan Freeman, but wasn't able to do so. Referee here is going to call a knock on, unfortunately for Lindenwood. Scrum down, Life ball.
The Lindenwood women's team, very excited to be back in play, obviously back playing competitive D1 rugby, and they have a very busy upcoming month of March. In the month of March, they have fixtures against Life in 2 weeks' time, the reverse fixture down in Georgia. They have another big matchup against Central Washington University, as well as a game against BYU. So a very busy schedule for them in the coming months, and they're obviously going to look to close out not only this first half, but the game and get themselves off to a winning start to their season.
Yeah, Chris, Lindenwood just recently joined the CRAA, College Rugby Association of America. And that's really a great move from the Lindenwood coaching staff, and it helps the team get a lot more fixtures on the book and a lot more talent to develop within the team. So that's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on throughout the rest of this season and the program history. Nice scrum there from Life. Ball moving its way wide now. Brought down well in the center by Itai, and now she's going to look to pick that ball up. Life University not quick enough over the ball there, but referee doesn't like what he's seen. Not quite clean enough for the referee. No clear release from the tackler. So Life will retain possession here.
Life with the penalty. It looks as though number 3, Keating, is coming over, so she's perhaps going to try and find the touch line on this one. Set up a line out here for the Running Eagles.
Yeah, good opportunity for the Running Eagles as time does start to tick towards the halftime mark to get more points on the board, close the gap, and keep this game competitive. 5-man line out this time for the Running Eagles. And with the tallest player in their forward pack, it looks like, at least from up here, Busby could be the one going up in the middle. Also, number 5 there, Allen, also one of the taller players on the Life team. So it'll be interesting to see where the players come from. They've added one more to the line out, have Life. So 6 in the line out now.
We can report to you that the yellow card was in fact for Life hooker at number 2, Low. She's made her way back onto the field and has an instant impact as she puts up a perler of a line-out throw and finds her teammate in the air. Life Running Eagles have now formed a rolling maul of their own, and they're managing to gather some momentum as they make their way downfield.
Yeah, looking to see where this ball comes out. That's always the factor when the ball comes to ground. Comes back on the Lindenwood side. So Lindenwood turn the ball over in the rolling maul. De Freitas now with ball, and she brushes off a tackle. She's going to try and find half a gap. Doesn't do so, but she's got support from her fellow teammate. Ball opting to go wide here. Big hit up there from the Lindenwood.
Number 3,
and
Nina
she's still going. Still
There's some very strong ball carriers on this Lindenwood women's team, and they're lining up one after each other. Look at this, tackle after tackle being broken.
Offload.
McKenna Strong finds the ball in the 5-meter channel and makes a very comfortable 20 meters down the sideline. Quick recycle by Morgan. She finds number 8, Kapoina Bailey. Bailey brought to ground, ball ripped in fact, and it looks as though Morgan Freeman's gotten over the ball, and after the ball's ripped from Lindenwood, Morgan Freeman does a great job of stealing it right back for her Lindenwood Lions.
Now Chris, I tell you what, Izzy Manu, the number 17 for Lindenwood, comes on the field and makes the most phenomenal impact. Not only did she fend off a couple players and give that ball out to McKenna Strong, she's also there able to make a very dominant tackle on the Life player and set her players up for the perfect pilfer Lindenwood ball. Great work from her.
Yeah, great work there by Izzy for sure. She makes it look easy, doesn't she?
Absolutely, absolutely. So Lindenwood kicking the ball into touch. They're going to have an option to go back at the line out here and take it back to Life University.
Number 2, Destiny Arena with ball in hand here. She's had a very solid game so far this afternoon for the Lindenwood Lions. She'll be looking to find her teammate here and get a good, clean set-piece ball. A little blow on the whistle by the referee. It looks as though there's maybe a little numbers discrepancy at the line-out. Aaliyah Afar has made her way in. Destiny Arena with ball in hand.
Yeah, a little bit of conversation as to how many are in the line-out and where the ball's going, but Lindenwood's set now. They're going to look to get this ball up and going, and nice front foot play here. Goes up in the middle.
Great take by Natalie Gray. She's got her hands on the ball. It looks as though it's been contested well. She's been able to get the ball back to some of her teammates, and it looks like they've set up a very, very productive rolling maul here. Destiny Arena peels down the side with the ball, and it's Big Izzy again. Meets the first 2 tacklers and tells them not today.
Yeah, eventually brought down there by Lowe, the hooker for Life University, and Life able to turn the ball over there. It's been a little 5-minute period of turnovers today. Knock on from Lindenwood University will give that ball back to Life. Chris, a lot of action on the field today.
Yeah, no, I think perhaps Lindenwood Lions now with the momentum behind them after that last score, they've been non-stop on the pressure. Life haven't been able to get much ball in hand, and the Lindenwood ladies team really starting to drive them into the ground here, tire them out. And I tell you what, all the Life Running Eagles are going to breathe the sigh of relief there as they are eventually able to force a knock-on.
Yeah, so another look at the scrum here. Put in from Flowers for Life. Makes its way to the back. Picked up by Busby.
Busby tries to break. She's met well by Aaliyah Afar.
Yeah, eventually brought down there by Lindenwood. Flowers is going to go deep. And that ball has gone up. It's a great take there by Morgan Freeman.
She finds Rochelle. Rochelle slings it wide to Corinne.
They have numbers
women
now.
have space out wide. Is Corinne going to get the ball out there?
Great
she does.
pass.
She finds Sativa. Sativa 2-on-1. She's found Jessica Laughlin. Jessica Laughlin using her feet to beat the first defender.
Yeah, fantastic defensive work from Life University. I mean, 4-on-2 was the option for Lindenwood that they were taking, but Life able to keep it within the realms of defense, and so Lindenwood not able to capitalize on that opportunity, but still with ball in hand. Stevens now. Good offload there for Lindenwood.
There's Izzy again with ball in hand. Isn't she dominant? Doesn't she make a mark in the game when she gets it? Unfortunately turned over at the breakdown. Running Eagles look to spread it wide. It is now number 12, Johnson, with ball in hand. She gets taken to ground. Lindenwood are over the ball, and that's a great poach by Aaliyah Afar. Ball right back in Lindenwood hands, right on the opposition 22.
Yeah, it was Etty as well, the number 12, with her opposite player making that tackle. I mean, she's not missed a single tackle today. Ball in hand now with Etty. She's going to drive the ball forward. Keeps going. Finally brought down. About 5 meters out. Life University with the turnover. They're going to take the ball back up at Lindenwood now.
Got about 30 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. Running Eagles are going to be trying able to close this out. Close the half out without conceding any more points. Another offload to Big Busby. The intercept read well by McKenna Strong. She has a player jump on her back as she gets it, but the Lindenwood ladies are now back inside Life 22 with ball in hand. They want to try and stay composed here and turn all of this possession and pressure into some points on the stroke of halftime.
Yeah, you thought Life University might have been away for a second. Just one offload too many. As you said, read incredibly well by McKenna Strong. Lindenwood now going to look to try and close out this half with some points on the board. Starting to slow the ball down now. A couple of pick and goes. Lindenwood have the advantage. Another pick and go from Lindenwood as they try to create this ball towards the Life University line. They've got the advantage, so the ball goes up. It's taken well on the wing. Player perhaps taken out in the air, but referee doesn't believe it.
They've got the numbers out wide. Scrum off. Morgan Freeman finds Corinne, and she's in the corner. Try time, Lindenwood Lions. Great play by the Lady Lions.
Yeah, extremely well worked try there by Lindenwood. The penalty advantage, there wasn't a doubt in their mind. The ball went up, and it was taken extremely well by Demi Allen on the wing. And she's able to bring the ball down. And 3-on-2, I believe the overlap was, Chris, and fantastically well finished by Corinne De Freitas.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a great cross kick in there by Morgan Freeman. Demi Allen does a great job of winning the ball in the air against her opposition player. And then Morgan Freeman with the rugby knowledge to come round to ruck time and continue to pick that ball up and work down the blind side, where she was able to force a 3-on-1 overlap, cut out pass, finds Corinne De Freitas on the touchline, who dives into the corner for another Lindenwood Lions try.
Yeah, so Lindenwood going to take the advantage into the half. 22-10 at the moment, with an opportunity for another 2 points off the tee for Lindenwood. We thought Life University might have closed the gap and made it a tie game going into the break, but Lindenwood able just to maintain momentum and keep that ball where they want it. Natalie Gray is going to have a go at this one. Good direction, Chris. Not quite the legs to get her there. So 22-10 as we head into the break in favor of Lindenwood. Does that close the action? It looks like it does. Referee blows his whistle for halftime. Chris, a fantastic half of rugby here in St. Charles, Missouri. Exactly what we were expecting this game to be. Very hard fought from the beginning. Both teams back and forth. Fast play of rugby. Chris, what do you make of it?
I tell you what, Ashley, that's been a very exciting first half of rugby, and hopefully there's more of the same in store for the second half. Lindenwood Lions, very, very relentless and dangerous when they have ball in hand, making the most of their possession and territory on the field, making Life Women's pay with two scores in the final 10 minutes to break the deadlock and send them into the half 22-10 ahead.
Yeah, short break here, about 10 minutes, halftime here. We will be back with more action. Please do stay tuned on FTF Sports.
D1A Rugby, it's more.
He brings it round for the first of the day, and Army, they're on the board.
Running Eagles looking strong as they barrel over the line. The Bears aren't going to stop them.
All the way around, okay? That's the warning now, okay?
It's back. Lou gets the ball to the outside center, Lepetti, and he just strolls in after a great set piece.
Just as amazing show by both squads.
Abercrombie and some wonderful stuff.
D1A Rugby,
It's more.
it's more. It's more than a game.
The 2019 Rugby D1A National Champions get the job done in Santa Clara.
There is greatness in you, potential to do the impossible and achieve the unachievable. When convention tells you success is improbable, it's about chasing a better version of yourself, lifting up those around you who need a helping hand, to serve when it's needed most. You are driven by a lasting purpose, and through giving, serving, loving, and doing, our purpose becomes our life. Discover your lasting purpose.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lindenwood University, St. Charles, Missouri, Harlan C. Hunter Stadium. Second half action just minutes away here as we see Lindenwood return to the field. Let me tell you, Chris, Life University have been out here waiting for a couple of minutes, and they are in high spirits, looking to get ready and go into the second half with some force.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of mental games there by the Lindenwood women's team, taking, as they rightly have the right to do, all 10 minutes of the halftime break. The Running Eagles have been out here on the field for maybe the last 5 or 6 minutes, and I tell you what, it's not that warm out there, so Lindenwood may be playing a bit of a mental game coming out here for the second half, but they've made their way out onto the field, and they're ready to pick up where they left off.
Yeah, and to be honest, Chris, I think if I was Life University, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Keep the spirits high, have a little bit of a dance battle while you're waiting on the opposite team. You know, you don't want to be stood around in a circle and let the other team think that they have got the better of you on the mental game. So Life University, high spirits as they get started on this second half. Lindenwood University, all business now, as Life University have the kickoff, trailing by 12 points, which is not a big lead by any means.
Not a big lead by any means. We know how the game can change so quickly, but the Running Eagles definitely going to be wanting to get the first points on the board here in the second half. They don't want to let the Lions build too big of a lead, because we know this Lindenwood women's rugby team, as soon as they do get a bit of momentum behind them, get their tails up, they're a very hard team to stop. And Life are going to want to score first here, so Lindenwood don't get too much momentum and start to run away with it.
Yeah, expecting lots more points in the second half as there were in the first half. As we already spoke, Chris, lots of points were also scored in Marietta, Georgia today when Lindenwood's men's team beat Life University men's team. It's about 75 points scored in that game. So 32 so far in this game. Initial knock-on from Lindenwood. Possibly.
The player who gathered the ball after the knock-on was in front of the player. So the referee has blown for a full-arm penalty here for an accidental offside. Keating wastes no time, gets a ball in hand and puts the ball out into touch. Life with an attacking line out here in the opening 30 seconds of the second half. They will be looking to make the most of this opportunity.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to start a second half. You get the full-arm penalty straight off the kick. Ball goes out into the touch, and now they have an opportunity 10 meters out from the Lindenwood line to put points back on the board and close that gap to within one score. A little bit of dancing around here at the line out as Life University gets set. Just matching numbers, making sure everybody is set. The referee's going to chat to players as to whether or not they are in or out of the line. So clarification comes. Ball ready to come in now from number 3, Keating, I believe.
Keating with ball in hand. A lot of discussion here at line-out time. I think they're not happy with the spacing there in the line-out. Ref has a little blow of the whistle. Ladies take a step, get set, ball comes in. Clean line-out won by Life women's team. The Running Eagles are looking to set up a maul here. Met well by the Lindenwood Lions. Not much forward momentum. Ball eventually comes out the back. Strong carry by the Running Eagles. Eventually brought down to ground. Ball's available. Played quickly off the deck. Cut out pass finds number 13, Tumalaitai.
And that's a good offload there. Just passed forward, says the referee. Player thought that she was away on the wing for the Running Eagles. I mean, it was great offload work by Life University, keeping hold of the ball. Perhaps a couple that we thought were going to get intercepted that weren't. An unfortunate error just right at the end gives the ball back to Lindenwood University.
A rare opportunity there for number 14 from the Running Eagles, Loserio, to get her hands on the ball. She was looking to make the most of her opportunity. Unfortunately, the referee has adjudged the pass to have gone forward, so he's blown the whistle, and we have a Lindenwood scrum here just outside their 22. Very clean scrum ball. Morgan Freeman finds Rochelle. Rochelle to Demi Allen on the loop. Rochelle out the back door to Sativa. They've set up an overlap. The ball's available. Corinne goes down the outside, is eventually brought down just inside the touchline. Ball available for Morgan again. She finds Etty. Etty shows with the show and go. You know she's not going to offload that one and rides the tackles well over the advantage line.
Yeah, great work from Lindenwood. Very disciplined play. Nice moves there, and it's well worked there from Nina taking the ball up. Rochelle Stevens now is going to look for players. Finds Kapora Bailey.
Ball's out the back. Sativa has it in her hand. She gives the inside ball to number 6, Akina Aipau.
Yeah, and looking very strung together passes here from Lindenwood. That one unfortunately picked off by Life University. So ball turned over now to Malati with the turnover. Number 1.
Oh,
Pemasa.
Big tackle in the midfield. Number 3, big tackle there by Nina Tulaira. And I tell you what, she gets up, gives herself a pump on the chest just as the crowd erupts after that massive tackle she's made in midfield. Forces a turnover. Great play there by number 3, Nina.
Yeah, I tell you what, Chris, that's exactly what you love to see in the sport of rugby, is prop forward versus prop forward, big tackle, and fantastic disciplined work from that defensive player. Well done. Huge effort there. Lindenwood with ball in hand. Rochelle Stevens is going to look to get this one out into touch. Does so. That's a nice kick there from her. So Lindenwood able to recharge, and they have come back refreshed.
I tell you what, number 1 from the Running Eagles, Pamasa. She is not a small athlete by any means. And number 3, Nina, eyed her up, absorbed the contact, lifted her up and buried her deep into the turf here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium. Very dominant tackle, forces the turnover and manages to shift possession back into Lindenwood's hands.
Yeah, she's going to look forward to seeing that player again at the next breakdown of Scrum. Lindenwood here. Ball goes up and over. Now ball in hand there with Nina. Finds an offload. Great offload there to Ali Alifar.
Great carry by Aliyah. She's worked her way deep into the 22. Ball's available at the base of the ruck. Number 3, Nina, looks to go for a pick and go here, and she does just that. Met hard by the running Eagles, brought down to the ground. Number 8, Kalpaina Bailey stands over it. She picks and goes. She's able to gain a couple meters. Ball available at the base of the scrum. Nina stands over it once again.
Yeah, Lindenwood just slowing the ball down a little bit here with some pick and goes as their backline gets ready, gets poised. Morgan Freeman doing an excellent job at talking things through. She's going to take the ball now. Finds McKenna Strong.
McKenna with the
go
show
outside.
Oh, she's knocked it on over the try line. McKenna was well over the try line. All she needed to do was get the ball down. But number 3 from the running Eagles pounces on her back and she knocks it on over the try line. Very unfortunate there for McKenna. The try line was calling her name. She was there. All she had to do was ground the ball. Great scramble defense by the running Eagles.
Yeah, great defense from the running Eagles. But Lindenwood slowing the ball down. It worked well. Morgan Freeman, just watching her, I mean, she was doing exactly what you would want from a scrum half, telling her forwards exactly what she wants, where she wants the ball to go to set up that platform. And as you mentioned, just unfortunately from McKenna Strong, not able to get that ball down when she does get over the line. So Life University now with ball back in hand. It's going to be a scrum. And the first opportunity for Nina to see Pemasa after that big contact. So that'll be a big competition over on that side of the scrum.
Massive scrum here for the running Eagles, 5 meters away from their try line. Big defensive scrum, and look at the shove by the Lady Lions. Big shove. A ref, unfortunately, is going to bring it back and re-scrum. Lindenwood Lions unlucky not to win a penalty against the feed there. Very dominant at scrum time. And I can tell you what, the Lindenwood Lions have their tails up. Very dangerous position here for the running Eagles.
Yeah, Lindenwood really sticking it to the Life scrum, letting them know that they might well be in a position to defend the line. But Lindenwood are not going to be happy with conceding this one and letting Life get easy and escape from the territory on the field. Another big scrum from Lindenwood.
Ref's going to blow the penalty against the Lady Lions for boring in at scrum time. Quick tap by number 13, Tuamalaitai. She's been a live wire so far this afternoon. Quick tap. Ball's available for the Lions. Number 15, Prize gets the ball out. Pamasa with the strong carry looking to make up for that penalty she conceded earlier in the game. The running Eagles are now spreading the ball. They have numbers out wide. Sativa with the big tackle, able to slow the ball down before it's eventually brought in by Vaival. She's got great wheels on her, does Vaival. A massive tackle by Corinne De Freitas in the far corner. That's a bone cruncher. Tell you what, great cross-cover tackle there. Great effort by Corinne.
Yeah, huge defensive effort there from Kareem. I mean, she's done exceptionally well to get across the field. It was great work from Life Vivau on the wing. She got the ball and she really took off like a rocket.
She thought she was away, but Corinne said, not today, not on my home stadium. And she put on a tackle big enough to get this Lindenwood crowd up on their feet and roaring.
Yeah, you talk about try-saving tackles. That was certainly one of them. Textbook work there from the Lindenwood fullback. And Lindenwood able to breathe a sigh of relief, as I like to say. And they will get the ball up. It's back-to-back now.
Morgan Freeman with ball in hand. She finds Rochelle. Sativa with the dummy line. Finds big Etty. Etty swings the ball. Sativa on the loop. Sativa has it. She's found Jessica Laughlin. Jessica Laughlin tucks the ball and takes it into contact. She's eventually brought down by the Life players. Ball's available. Rochelle is filled in at 9. She finds Morgan. Morgan with ball in hand gets rid of the first defender. Eventually brought down. Unfortunately, she's lost that one forward in the contact. Very, very exciting play there by the Lindenwood backline players. They're a very talented group, and you see what they're able to do when they get ball in hand with a bit of space in front of them.
Yeah, Chris, I dare say there may be some spies listening to the stream here for Lindenwood, but we said that the first half was a game of the forwards. So far, this second half has definitely been a display of what the backs are capable of doing on both sides of the field.
Yeah, it's been high-intensity stuff since the kickoff. Substitution there for the Lindenwood Lions. Destiny Arena, she's had a great performance so far this afternoon. She can be really proud of what she's done. She makes her way to the sideline. And in her place, we have number 16, Lali Lafitaga, on the field as we pack down here for a scrum. She'll be looking to get involved in the game, brush off these afternoon chills, get her first tackle of the game, get involved in the contact and make her mark on the game. Very dangerous player is Lali.
Yeah, Chris, and we talk about what a change players have now when they are brought onto the field in the later stages of the game. When you and I were growing up playing the sport, substitutions were brought on in the very late stages of the game. Now these players really are impact players, and they're brought on for a very specific reason in order to change the pace of game and change the play on the field.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a game of inches nowadays, and every decision is scrutinized, and there's a lot of thought that goes into every decision. And nowadays, you don't have a player who comes on to finish the final 10 or so minutes. All the games are reviewed. You know what each player's strengths are, and they're brought on to do a job. And whether it be 40 minutes or 20 minutes of rugby, they know what their job is. They're a closer, and they're out here to make their mark on the game, continue the dominance, keep the tempo up, and drive their team over the line.
Yeah, and so far from both teams, we've seen those players that do come on from the bench make a huge impact. For Lindenwood, Izzy Manu made a huge impact when she came on in the first half, and she's likely to continue that going on into the second half. And I'm sure lots of other players, as they start to roll on the field, will be looking to make similar impacts.
Key player here for the Running Eagles, number 12, Johnson, has just been helped off the field with what appears to be an ankle injury. So the substitute, number 22, Wanton, makes her way onto the field. Great scrum here by the Running Eagles. Break down the sideline. Ball's knocked backwards. Big tackle by Izzy again. Ball's available. Aaliyah Farr making it hard for them at the breakdown. Great tackle by McKenna Strong and Natalie Gray there. Ball's played back by Flowers. Flowers finds number 2, Wanton. Wanton swings it out the back to number 11, Adegoke, who is met hard in the midfield by Sativa. Lindenwood Lions doing a great job of driving this Running Eagles team backwards. And a massive tackle by Etty again on the sideline. She rides number 14, Loserio, out into the touchline. And Loserio very slow to get up from that one. Great tackle by Etty.
Yeah, Chris, talk about a huge performance so far in today's match. I mean, number 12 for Lindenwood, Etty, has been absolutely phenomenal. She's not missed a tackle. She's carried extremely well. 50 minutes into this game, I'm very excited to see what the remaining 30 minutes have in store for this player.
Yeah, every time she's involved, Ashley, it's just a power play on the field, and it's absolutely no surprise that she is in that USA Women's High Performance Training Squad for the women's upcoming Rugby Women's World Cup.
Yeah, definitely a player that the coaches will be keeping an eye on and expecting more and more from as she continues to develop as a player. Lindenwood with an overlap now, 2-on-1.
Corinne finds Jessica Laughlin.
Laughlin
beats the first man, manages to work her way upfield. Laugh look to try and hold her up here as the Lions pile in and drive her forward. Is the ball going to find its way back? Yes, it is. It's available at the base of the ruck for Rochelle Stevens. Unfortunately, it looks as though the ball is not going to be playable after a couple Laugh players pile in. Good defensive work there by the Running Eagles. Lindenwood looking dangerous. Good work by Adegoke, and she's managed to bury the ball inside the ruck, and it's going to be a scrum down to the Running Eagles.
Yeah, Chris, I was going to say it's very tactical work if she manages to get away from that one, which it doesn't look like she did. Adegoke, the number 10, Serenuski from number 10 for Life University, just really when the ball was available, just kind of dived over the top of it in order to make it unpresentable. So we thought that Life University there were going to get the ball back. They don't do. So Lindenwood retaining possession here. Number 11 for Lindenwood.
Demi Allen with a great kick for touch. After we thought we were going to have a scrum down there, the touch judge just steps onto the field and has a word with the referee after what he's seen from the sideline. He said, unfortunately, number 11, Adegoke, who managed to tie the ball up, had entered the ruck from the side. So we have a Lindenwood Lions penalty. They kick for touch. They find touch. Alira Farr with ball in hand. She'll be looking to get clean line-out ball here as the Lions, I presume, look to set up a driving maul.
Yeah, it's a very key position here for Lindenwood. About 10 meters out from the line. Well taken there by Natalie Gray. Referee says not forward in the line. It's obviously very difficult to tell from the angle that we're at on the pitch, Chris.
It looks as though the referees have judged that one to have not been a fair contest at line-out time. Skew throw there, unfortunately, by Aaliyah Afar. But nonetheless, Running Eagles under big pressure here by the Lindenwood Lions with another defensive scrum 10 meters out from their try line.
Yeah, second half so far, slightly slower play than what we saw in the first half, especially both teams came out guns blazing, but since then, it's been a little more controlled in what we've seen. So Life University, last time they were in this position, Chris, we saw that excellent run by Vival out on the wing. Life are going to catch a break here with a full-on penalty. They're going to go quick. They're not happy with just taking that one. It's unfortunate that that's been called back. Looked like she was clean through there. The Life number 12, Johnson. I mean, she looked about as clean through as they come.
Yeah, that looked to be a very strong line break there. It looks as though some of the Lions players had stepped back as they'd seen the referee blow the whistle. Had he not, though, Johnson did appear to be clean through and speeding home.
Yeah, so Life University kicking this one out. Keating, as she has done so far in today's match, taking that ball and booting it into the stands. She's going to put the ball in as well at the line out. Life University really going to look here to clear their lines one way or another. They've got a lot of their key runners up in the backfield, so look for this one to go down quickly, and a big carry I would expect from one of those ladies.
You can see 13 for the Running Eagles, Tumalaitai lining up in the first receiver channel. She's going to be wanting to get her hands on the ball because when she does, she has been devastating this afternoon. Unfortunately, knocked on at the line out by the Running Eagles, and Lindenwood have been gifted a scrum in opposition 22.
Yeah, slightly overthrown at the line out. It was picked up by Pamasa, but I mean, Morgan Freeman, if it hadn't have been a knock on, she was straight over that ball. It was about to be a penalty for Lindenwood because she was stealing that one. There was absolutely no moving her, but she's got ball in hand one way or another. She's going to be putting in this scrum here, and Lindenwood now set up to attack Life once more within the 22-meter line, but it's come back on the Life side. Ball's now going to look to move wide. It's carried well there by Wanton.
Knocked on by the Running Eagles. Ball becomes available for the Lindenwood Lions. They have it here right on the 22. Izzy gets ball in hand. Strong carry by Izzy. She works her way upfield and ripped again in the contact by Tumalaitai, number 13 of the Running Eagles. And hasn't she had an absolutely amazing afternoon on the field this afternoon?
She has, yeah. She's done fantastically well. Referee deems that one a knock-on by Life University. And Chris, today has really been about those turnovers. I mean, both teams getting turned over at one point or another within the match, and it's been exciting to see how they're able to flip the tables and turn a defensive situation into an attacking one. Again, Lindenwood here with an opportunity to take it to Life University and look to try and further extend their lead, 12-point lead at the moment.
Morgan finds Rochelle Stevens. Rochelle Stevens finds Corinne, who Corinne uses her feet to get on the outside, and she's done a great job. Is she over the line? No, she's brought down inches short. Ref has a blow on the whistle. He's going to have a chat with the touch judge here. Is she out of bounds on the far side, or is it a try? Ref chatting with the touch judge. Try is awarded. Great work by Corinne De Freitas, using her footwork to get on the outside of a man, puts a stiff arm out, gets rid of the first defender, and rides the second tackle over the try line. Great work by Corinne.
Yeah, Chris, I was about to say either way, try or no try, she's done fantastically well in her run and getting the ball at least to the try line. She does dot it down and get awarded the 5 points there. I mean, she is a player that as soon as she gets half an opportunity, even quarter of an opportunity on the outside, she's going to take it. And, 9 times out of 10, she makes something work from it.
Yeah, you don't want to give Corinne any extra space because even when she has limited space, very talented player, always able to make something out of nothing. And there she was able to get on the outside of her of her opposite player, and she gets down in the corner for, I believe, her second of the afternoon. Great player is Corinne, originally from Venezuela. I know she's very proud and passionate to be from Venezuela, and she's been a great addition to this Lindenwood women's rugby side.
Yeah, certainly a player to keep watching as she develops within this program. A player that will likely have a lot of eyes on her from national teams in terms of playing for her if she does continue this kind of performance on the field here. A very difficult kick for Natalie Gray. I don't doubt that she's going to give it her best shot. She does. The direction's good. Just unfortunately not quite got the legs to get there.
I tell you what, that's a tricky kick for any kicker. They'll tell you the ones from the sideline doesn't get much more difficult than that. Lindenwood's women's rugby team have done very well here to extend their lead by 17 points, 27-10. Life are going to want to strike back soon and strike back hard if they want to keep themselves in the game here.
Yeah, 17 points is still within reach. Just two tries and a little more would get Life back in contention for the lead. And they've been fantastic so far here on the field. A short kick, this one.
By 1 ton. Unfortunately, it's not going to go the desired 10 meters. So we're going to have a Lindenwood ball scrum down on the center field mark.
Yeah, let's see what happens from here, Chris. And time again, we see these scrums from the middle field. And it was in the first half where we saw a scrum from this lead to a try. Look at the backs and how they line up here. You've got number 10, Rochelle Stevens, and then number 15 for Lindenwood, Corinne De Freitas. They line up one behind the other directly. And depending on which way they go, Chris, it gives their team a significant overlap on that side.
For sure, it's a very difficult situation here for the Running Eagles to defend. They're not sure if they should be on the open side or blind side of the scrum, as they have 2 players line up directly behind it. Scrappy ball at scrum time. Scrum's moved more than 90 degrees, so we're going to have a reset scrum here for the Lindenwood Lions. Just from watching the game, it appears that the Lindenwood Lions front row substitutions that they've made, they've almost sacrificed a bit of scrumming technique for the pure power and carrying strength of this front row substitutions. Lali Latifaga, Izzy Manu, and Selena Tualaera, they've both been immense with ball in hand, but the scrum appears to have lost a bit of its edge. Ball available at the back, long arm penalty, illegal boring there by the Running Eagles. Ball has been taken quickly by Morgan Freeman, finds Rochelle Etty with ball in hand. She's met hard, but she disposes of her first defender very well. Demi Allen beats the first man as well. She's charging up the field. Great work by Demi Allen. She does even better to keep the ball in play. Unfortunately, just a bootlace on the touchline, and the touchy's flag does go up. Great scramble defense by the Running Eagles. They now have a line-out feed on their own 10-meter line.
Yeah, fantastic work by Lindenwood's back line. Again, that player, Etty, how many times are we going to say her name today? Does fantastically well to take an opportunity and make yards on it. Unfortunately, within the tackle and part of the ruck, the leg was dragged into touch for Lindenwood's number 14. Life University here. Good line out from them. Nice step there back on the inside. And again, from the number 13 for Life, Tumalati. So they're going to retain possession. Ball's now going to go straight up and into touch. Referee's just going to look at his touch judge to see whether it was inside the 22-meter line or not. He's going to double check as he walks his way over. It was within the 22-meter line, so absolutely fine kicking that one straight out into touch. Looks like it might have took a hand on the way there, Chris.
It's Lindenwood ball. Touchy has his arm up for Lindenwood. Not sure why Life Running Eagles have the ball in hand, but the Lindenwood hooker very happy just to sit back and watch until the touch judge eventually has to speak up and let them know that it is in fact their ball. We have had another substitution for the Lady Lions. Vice captain and goal kicker Natalie Gray has made her way to the touchline, and then jersey number 19 we have Moira Dillo, who's made her way onto the field.
Yeah, Chris, as you mentioned, the Lindenwood hooker just happy to sit back. In mine and yours days here at Lindenwood, I don't think there would have been a single hooker who wouldn't have been straight in the referee's earful. Jeremy Lieber, for example, comes to mind. He'd have been hyping up a storm. But Lindenwood here, able to retain possession. No scrum half there, so number 7 steps in afar. She does very well there.
Ball available for Morgan. Morgan finds Rochelle. Rochelle puts boot to ball, and she finds open grass at the back. Well cleaned up, though, by number 11, Aregoke. She's met hard in the contact and driven backwards once again.
Yeah, Chris, it was a nice bounce, just popped up perfectly for her to take it, but a good option from Rochelle Stevens. The space was there, and if they'd had a different bounce, we might have had a different outcome. Life University now playing front foot rugby.
Penalty there to Life Running Eagles, the tackler not rolling away in time. And once again, another name we've been mentioning all afternoon, the very dangerous play of number 13, Tuamalaitai. She has been an absolute live wire around the field, whether it be on attack or defense. You cannot fault her effort, and she's been the bright light so far and the leading force in this Life Running Eagles attack.
Yeah, and it's a good kick to touch there ensuring that it makes its way there from life player. So they're going to have the line out here, put in opportunity, and they're going to look to make something. They've got a lot of players, a lot of those big runners that we spoke about earlier, Chris, in the defensive in the back line, ready to take that ball up and forward. It's cleanly taken, well delivered to the scrum half for Life University. Ball's going to look to find its way wide.
Ball doesn't find the man. It's gone to ground. It's cleaned up by Serinsky.
Charge down there.
Charge down kick by Sativa. Looks as though she took it to the side of the face, but she's up on her feet. Great play by the attacking 13 there.
Yeah, Chris, that's one of those situations you never really expect to charge the kick down. And sometimes where you do, if it catches you in the wrong place, you're kind of more disoriented than thinking about charging the ball back down and running in for the try. But excellent work from Sativa nonetheless, the captain for Lindenwood today. Life University are going to have an opportunity here, though. They did have the advantage, and so they're going to kick to touch again.
Keating puts boot to ball, looking for the touch line. She doesn't find touch. It's well cleaned up by Demi Allen. She had a lot of pressure on her, but very clean take. Morgan has the ball at the base. She finds Corinne in the first receiver channel. Runs a short line and manages to get over the advantage line once again. Morgan finds Izzy. Izzy with the short ball pop to number 18, Selena. Ball's available at the back. Big clean out by the running Eagles. The ref's going to blow a penalty for not rolling away against number 12, Johnston.
Yeah, it was a great attempt at turning that ball over and a huge clean out, but unfortunately the player on the ground not making their way away from the ball and fully rolling away. So quick tap there from Morgan Freeman. Big hit up here.
Izzy. Great carry by Izzy. She puts her head down and burrows through the contact. Morgan Freeman finds Etty. Etty finds Aaliyah. Aaliyah out the back to Sativa. They have a 2-on-1. Sativa puts her ears back, uses her arm. Is she over in the corner? She's brought down just short. Ball's available, inches away from the line. It looks as though there's advantage for not rolling away. Lindenwood pick and go, and they're over the try line. Great work by Moira. Great attacking play. Lindenwood Lions get half an opportunity, and they make the most of it. Sativa and the backs. Etty, great hands. Sativa using her feet and her arm to get past the tackler, brought down inches short, and then the big second rower, Moira, there to pick up over the line, and the Lindenwood Lions are doing a great job extending their lead and cementing their place at the front of this game.
Yeah, Chris, we talk about those impact forwards and those impact players coming in off the bench, and Moira Dillo keeping up with the speed of play. As you mentioned, superb work from... Oh, she got it.
Oh, great effort by Rochelle
goodness.
on the conversion. She opts for the drop kick, and I tell you what, I couldn't have been straighter if she tried. Unfortunately, drops just short of the crossbar. Great effort, though. 32-10 to the Lindenwood Lions, and they're going to be looking to run away with this one.
Yeah, still a good 15 minutes of play here and lots more action to see. For any of you that may be watching at home, thinking about playing collegiate rugby, Lindenwood is still recruiting for the fall of 2021 and beyond. If you are watching and interested in becoming a Lindenwood Lion, check out lindenwood.edu and search for athlete form. Head coach Billy Nicholas would be more than happy to speak with you about potential opportunities of joining this national championship winning program.
I tell you what, when you talk about national championship winning program, the Lady Lions here for the last 2 years, we're not going to count 2020 because there wasn't much rugby played, but 2018, 2019, and all the games they played in 2020. This Lindenwood Lions team is undefeated. They're back-to-back-to-back national champions. They've won the Collegiate Rugby Sevens national championships back-to-back. They're the team to beat here in the U.S., and it's no surprise that there have been countless U.S. Eagles that have been bred through this program.
Great run there from Izzy. She's still
Izzy
going.
storming down the field.
On her outside.
Massive carry there by Izzy. She makes her way 50 meters down the field. Ball's available. Rochelle finds number 8.
Yeah, great
Bailey.
offload from her as well. So Lindenwood still with the ball in possession. Still looking to make something from this attack that started off from the huge carry from Izzy. Number 16 now for Lindenwood, Lali Lafataga. She's going to be brought down. Etty now with a huge pass. What a great
cutout
pass.
to Sativa. 2-on-1. Sativa's met in the contact, though. Not able to get the ball, but again, using her legs in contact and driving downfield, making those very, very vital extra meters. Ball to Rochelle is tipped backwards, cleaned up by Selena. Izzy over the ball now. Number 23, the backup, halfback on the field. Meg Gold replacing Morgan Freeman. Meg Gold over the ball now. She's looking, swings the ball back to Izzy, and Izzy with back-to-back tough carries. Brought down to ground. Moira now sitting over the ball. The ball is available for Meg. Unfortunately not played quick enough and stolen once again.
Yeah, referee says nothing wrong with that at all. And so Life able to turn that one over. Good carry there from number 5, Allen, for Life University. They've got an opportunity to catch Lindenwood off guard now. Half a gap here for Pimasa. She's going to take the ball forward. Now the option to go wide for Life University. They've got numbers. If they use, that's a great line. Great line there. Number 12 for Life University. Johnson is going to find a player outside.
Great
pass outside.
By Great play by the Running Eagles.
She's got the legs to get all the way there. She's going to go straight in between the posts. Great phase of play from Life University. Credit where credit due. That's about as good as they come in terms of a try.
Credit where credit is due. I tell you what, Ashley Harrop, the Running Eagles have gone 70 meters down the play. Great work with ball in hand. Some great passes there. Drawing the man, putting your outside man away in space. And you got to tip your hat to the Running Eagles there for a very exciting, almost full distance try. Great work to the Running Eagles.
Yeah, great team play. Lots of very good passing in there. And we did say they had the opportunity out wide. Could they use it? And they did so. It was that initial gap that was made by Johnson, the number 12 for Life University. I mean, she took that opportunity and absolutely ran with it.
She did. She just popped up there on Wonton's outside shoulder. You didn't even see her coming. She looped around from the blind side, popped up on the short line. Defender didn't see her coming. Neither did we, and she was clean through. As the fullback Corinne De Freitas tracked her, she managed to swing the ball out wide. It eventually found its way to Agoke, and she finished off the job and dotted down under the poles for the Running Eagles for a much-needed score to bring them back into the game. 32-15 here to the Lindenwood Lions with kick to come. This one's right out in front. You'd think this one would go over to narrow the lead here. Keating standing over it. She struck it well, chips it through the poles. Flags go up. 32-17. We have a game on our hands here entering the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, Chris, Life University showing that they're not done in today's game and showing some true heart and that they are ready to take things back to Lindenwood and keep things going, draw themselves ever closer to taking the lead in today's game. 32-17 now. The lead for Lindenwood with Life University giving it all that they have in these remaining 11 minutes of today's match.
Before this game kicked off, we had the Lindenwood JV team, junior varsity team, playing against the Running Eagles. That was a successful game for the Lindenwood Lions. They did a great job in wrapping up that match and securing the win in the junior varsity game. And now here are the Lady Lions, the varsity team, putting their foot down on the throats of the Running Eagles, capitalizing off a mistake at the kickoff. And here they are back attacking in the Running Eagles 22, looking to strike back after conceding points.
Yeah, Lindenwood really will have taken that one personally, losing the try there. So they're straight back in action, giving it to Life University. Have numbers on the overlap. Great pass out by Etty there. Again, 2-on-1 pass.
Great work by Sativa to draw her man, and she finds number 21, Taina Tukuafu, and she does a great job scoring a try with her first touch of the ball. As the Running Eagles score, Lindenwood strike right back and say, "Not today, ladies. This is our home field, and we're here to protect the lead." Yeah, Chris, Lindenwood showing some absolute resilience there. And talk about impacts and talk about first touches of the ball. 21 for Lindenwood. Taina Tukuafu, she does exceptionally well. Great pass wide from Etty. Finds it in the hands of number 21, and she just dots the ball down in the corner, dives across the line as she should. As the crowd's really erupting here, starting to get a little bit boisterous in the stands here at Harlan C. Hunter Stadium. Exactly what you want for a big rivalry match like this between Lindenwood and Life University. 37-17 now, the conversion unsuccessful by Lindenwood, but as we mentioned, Chris, an exceptionally difficult kick from the try line. Rochelle Stevens going with the drop kick alternative to going off the tee. Life University, I'm sure, are going to take this one straight back to Lindenwood. I think what's just happened there, we didn't get to see Rochelle take the conversion because as she was lining it up, the touch judge walked over and had a word with the referee, and he's pinged the number 12, Johnson, from the Running Eagles for a dangerous tackle in the corner when Talia finished the try there. So Lindenwood Lions have appeared to have been awarded a penalty try. Conversion was not necessary. They've been granted the 7 points, and now Johnson finds herself in the sin bin.
Oh, wow. Very well noted by you, Chris. Well done. So 39-17, I believe, that would make the score with the full 7-point advantage. So the scoreboard here in the stadium showing 37-17. It takes an expert like Chris Schumann to know what's going on the field. So Lindenwood with the ball in hand now. The missed throw from Life at the line-out.
Great work by McKenna Strong there to steal the ball at line-out time. Ball's available for Etty. Etty swings it wide again to Sativa, looking for a switch with Talia. Unfortunately, she loses the ball. It's adjudged to have gone backwards. Well cleaned up by Etty. Takes a couple running Eagles here to bring Etty down, and she's still not going down. 5 players beaten. She's still on her feet. Manages to find Talia on the offload. Ball is now available at the base of the ruck. Meg Gold stands out of it. She looks for a box kick. She puts one through. There's no one out the back. Ball's in the in goal. Bounces back out. Ball spilled loose in the end zone. Very, very almost pounced on there by Selena, but cleaned up well by the running Eagles fullback. And we have a 22 dropout on our hands.
Yeah, Chris, phenomenal work. There was no one back there, but for a second we weren't really sure who was going to get the ball and dot it down. Players from both teams reaching up to get the ball. Life University are going to come away from this one. But let me say, what a performance from Etty so far in today's game. She has perhaps one of the best cutout passes that I've seen in many years. And we don't typically do players of the match, but today I think we're going to do so. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, she takes today's by a large majority.
Yeah, Etty, every time she's been involved, whether it be on attack or defense, she's either beating players on attack or breaking them on defense. And she's been rewarded for her strong performance today, and she gets to get the final 5 minutes of the game on the touchline as she subbed off to multiple taps and slaps on the back for her performance. Bit of scrappiness on the field now. Running Eagles number 20, Vaifaina, not happy with the call, getting in some of the Lindenwood Rugby girls' faces. A bit of push and shove. We're going to come back, though.
Yeah, the referee just going to talk with the players here, and it was Life University who were caught in the dead ball zone with ball in hand, so they wanted to dot the ball down. Lindenwood wanted to keep playing. Referee's just going to push them back. Nothing more needs to be said other than a talking to the players, as tempers, rightly so, Chris, tempers are high. But, 20-point advantage now for the Lindenwood Lions. 6 minutes left on the clock. They'll look to close this one out with as much discipline as possible.
Yeah, very tough uphill battle here for the running Eagles to get themselves back into this. 20 points in 5 minutes. It's almost an insurmountable task, but nothing is impossible in the game of rugby, and we're hoping it stays tight right down to the wire. As the running Eagles find touch on their penalty kick. They do have a line out now on their own, in their own 22, 10 meters from the try line. They're going to be wanting to try and secure this as cleanly as possible.
Yeah, and they do so. That's a great line out there. Well taken off the top. And a good kick away there. It's going to find Rochelle Stevens, who's going to take that one. She's going to look wide to De Freitas. They've got space out wide.
That is not a sight opposition like to see. Talia tries to go around the outside. She's met hard, though, and she's driven down into the turf. Great clean out there by Sativa. Ball's available. Meg Gold flings it out, but the ball has been knocked on, unfortunately, there by Meg Gold at scrum time.
Yeah,
at ruck time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate work for Lindenwood there as they look to get that ball out. But Life University going to get another opportunity here to take it to Lindenwood and close the gap. Fantastic performance by both teams today, Chris. It really has met the expectations that were set for both teams in the spectacle that we have been blessed with here today.
Oh, you always know a Lindenwood Life derby is going to be an intense game, and that's exactly what this game has been. But the Lindenwood Lion ladies this evening showing why they are the number 1 ranked women's team in the country. They've been dominant from the kickoff, and they haven't let up. Set their foot halfway out of line so they get the blow and the whistle, a little stand-up breath of fresh air, get to get some clean oxygen in their lungs and reset for a big effort at scrum time, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Massive shove by the Lindenwood Lions. Unfortunately, the penalty goes against them. Quick tap by the running Eagles. Number 15, Prize with the quick tap. She finds the number 13, who rolls, isn't held on the ground, gets back up and she's clean through. It looks to be a one-on-one. Oh, great defensive effort from Moira from behind. Cleaned up by Rochelle Stevens. She's weaving her way through traffic. Eventually swings the ball out wide. They have space out there. Great footwork by number 8, Kaupuina Bailey. She's brought to ground. Meg Gold with quick service. Cut out ball to Taialia, 21. She finds Corinne De Freitas on the switch line. De Freitas finds an offload to Sativa. Lindenwood Lions marching up the field here again. Meg Gold to Selena. Unfortunately, just knocked on by Selena. Cleaned up by the Lindenwood Lions, but no advantage for the knock-on. Scrum down to the Running Eagles.
Yeah, good phase of play from Lindenwood. Able to string together some nice passes from a few players there. Ultimately, pass went wayward, and Life University are going to once again receive a scrum. They're going to look to do something here in the closing minutes of the game, Chris. If you want to do anything in the last few minutes of the game, you want to get your team some points on the board and close out, as best you can.
Yeah, no, for sure. With less than 2 minutes on the clock, the Lindenwood Lions have this one wrapped up, but the Life Running Eagles are not going to give up without a fight. They're going to fight till the final whistle. They're going to try and put some points on the board and reduce the deficit. And here we go, picked up off the back of the scrum. Big tackle by Bailey. They're swinging the ball out wide, not making much distance, but now they've found an overlap on the outside. Great work by number 14, Loserio, and she's charging away down the line. Here comes Karina on the cross cover. Is she going to get there in time? And yes, she is. What a great cross cover tackle. I tell you what, that one you're going to see on the highlights reel for a couple months to come. What a great effort by Corinne De Freitas. She charged 40 meters across the field and made the try-saving tackle in the corner with less than a meter before the try line. We had a great view of that one from up here, Ashley Harrop, and I tell you what, Corinne De Freitas has been a standout player for the Lindenwood Lions this afternoon. She just does not give up. Massive effort there on defense, and she has, rightly so, saved her team from conceding 5 points.
Than that, fantastic covering tackle. Just as the player thought they were in for the try, she comes hurtling across, manages to keep hold of the legs, drag them into touch. I mean, that's really international level rugby right there.
That is very, very great play. I tell you what, if I could see a replay of that one right now, I'd love to watch it myself, because that is such a great effort by Corinne there. Even though they're up by 22 points with less than a minute to go, she never gives up, and she has her pride on the line, and she's done just that, charging across the field for a great cover tackle.
Yeah, huge effort from her today, both in attack and defense. Penalty now for Lindenwood.
Hands in the ruck. We've just heard the final siren go in the background. Are the Lindenwood Lions going to tap it and put it out of play to end the game? You would think so.
You would think so, Chris, but at the same time, this is a Lindenwood ladies team who are ferocious.
And they do just that. Sativa, the captain, cap off a great performance, taps the ball, puts it out. The final whistle sounds 39-17 to the Lindenwood Lions. What a great day at the office for the Lindenwood Lions, Ashley.
Yeah, fantastic play from both teams, but ultimately the Lindenwood side here today, the better of the two, 39-17. They've done fantastically well, and testament to all of those players, both the starting 15 as well as those who came in off the bench, did incredibly well. Highlight performances from Etty, from Corinne De Freitas, from Natalie Gray. Players all really stepping up and making their teammates proud. A real 23-player performance today. Huge win for Lindenwood. As we said, the first game for them in over a year of play. This will be a memorable one for sure. To those of you all around the world that may have been watching today, thank you so much for joining us. Please do join us again. Do keep in tune with your Lindenwood Lions. As we said, they are off to Marietta, Georgia in 2 weeks to play Life back in Life's home stadium. So keep up with the Lady Lions. We look forward to watching them the rest of this season. We will see you again.